find yourself in a heated argument where both of you scream and no one listens? Now, imagine that you're in the middle of a debate, but you are on television where millions of people are watching you. You will surely stand by what you believe in, right? Even if you think that the earth is flat as a hotcake. Well, in this video, we are going to talk about the heated moments in The View show where Whoopi Goldberg really lost it, from screaming, pointing fingers, and saying F you, get the hell out of here, to a well-known judge, to walking off the set, leaving all behind because of insensitive comments. This is the times Whoopi Goldberg lost it with her guests on The View. And for number 1, we have Bill O'Reilly. O'Reilly is known for throwing controversial curveballs and stirring the pot like Grasp Chef. But his look on The View in October 2010 began like throwing gas on a fire. So, there they were, chatting away on The View, while the topic of the proposed Islamic network-centered Ground Zero in New York City got here up. Bill, by no means one to pull away from a heated debate, pulls up the big weapons stating Muslims killed us on 9/11. Goldberg and BR didn't take kindly to that statement. They fired return like canyons, arguing that portraying all Muslims with the same broad brush changed into approximately as fair as calling all the hosts loudmouths. No offense, folks. The words flew, the temperature rose, and before you know it, things were getting warmer than a summertime's day in Death Valley. But what happens next might surprise you. Keep watching while Goldberg and BR couldn't find a resolution. They walked up the set in protest. The audience turned in shock. The other co-hosts were speechless, but the viewers at home were grabbing popcorn. The debate raged on. However, one thing for sure, this one is for many history books. And you can't simply rewrite that. But Glenn Beck is interested in rewriting the story. Here is for number 2. Glenn Beck. In 2009, the conservative commentator Glenn Beck decided to grace The View with his presence. But their argument began before Beck's appearance on the show. It all started on an innocent Amtrak train where Beck, Barbara Walters, and Whoopi Goldberg apparently had a meeting. Beck narrated the encounter on the radio show, but Goldberg and Walters were like, "Hold up, cowboy. That's not exactly how it went down." Fast forward to The View, and Goldberg doesn't waste a second. She immediately addresses the issue by confronting Beck about his story. Barbara and Goldberg accused Beck of making up and editing the story of what really happened back then on a train, and the argument began an intense battle of yelling. Beck's defenders had his back while Goldberg's supporters gave her a round of applause for keeping it real. And honestly, this drama touched on some deep stuff beyond the entertainment, like truth, integrity, and the old age question, can we believe what we hear on the radio? Beck wasn't one to back down. In true talk show host fashion, he played the let's reflect on what happened card, giving take to the whole ordeal. As for Goldberg, let's give her due. She came in hot, ready to defend the honor of truth, not sugarcoating here. But she was on a mission to call out any false story. And now that we are down to the most intense lost it moments of Whoopi Goldberg, we just wanted to tell you that if you subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up, you will win any argument you are in as well. That's an exaggeration, but what Whoopi Goldberg did on the next one is completely unprofessional. Jeannie Pirro. It was July 2018 when Judge Pirro came to The View to promote her book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, the case against the anti-Trump conspiracy. You see, that little title alone is like waving a red cape at a political bull. She got her book in one hand and her conservative favor in the other. But Whoopi Goldberg is in the opposing corner. The segment starts innocently enough, with Pirro explaining her take on President Trump's policies, and Whoopi decides to jump into the ring. And what happens next is truly entertaining. They go argue on issues ranging from immigration to the Mueller investigation. Now here comes the knockout punch. Whoopi, clearly done with the verbal tussle, drops the line, "Say goodbye, I'm done." Cue the audience gasps and the co-host jaws hitting the floor. You can practically feel the tension through the TV screen. But what made this one of the historic moments in The View is that they continued their verbal argument after the camera stopped rolling. They continued the argument backstage, where harsh words and swearing were involved. Whoopi explained her side of the view, defending her decision to pull the plug on the heated chat. She stopped and put a finger in my face and yelled, "I've done more victims than you ever will." Then, I said to her some few choice words I cannot repeat. After she left the building, someone approached her and asked, "Do you regret anything that happened or what happened to the interview?" And Piro's quick answer was, "Look, I don't mind 4 against 1. I can handle it. But I don't like being mistreated by people who invite you to have a discussion and then treat you like you're less than human." And Piro didn't let the show's rocky reception go unnoticed. She stormed back onto Fox News, recruiting her story of feeling mistreated. I mean, look, I've been a prosecutor judge for 30 years. I tried murder cases. I can go toe-to-toe with anybody, but that was abuse. And it was sad. It was a sad moment. And when the political commentator, Ben Shapiro, heard about this, he quickly shared his reaction on this one by saying, "This is how they feel. If anyone disagrees with them, she is an evil, evil human being, and they can't even have a discussion about the issue." Now look, Judge Piro is very pro-Trump. Yes, there's no question. They knew that before they booked her. If you are going to have Judge Piro on, at least you have to let her talk. And this idea that you bring on the guest and you don't let her talk is so unprofessional, he added, and really, really quite pathetic. But honestly, after all these things, arguments, debates, on and off the camera, do you ever wonder how much money Whoopi Goldberg made by doing her thing? Why she's so into it? Well, let's talk about that for a moment. Whoopi Goldberg's salary in The View. We've loved Goldberg for ages, from her heartwarming laughs to those sometimes deep insights or sometimes what the hell are you saying moments. She's the drama queen we never knew we needed, and fans and critics are lapping it up, making The View a golden show for ABC. But here's that million-dollar question, or should I say multi-million. Well, how much money does Goldberg make with her sidekicks Joy, BR, Sarah Haynes, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain? We're pretty sure Whoopi's laughing her way to the bank after each 42-minute drama-filled episode. In 2007, Whoopi was the successor to Rosie O'Donnell, Hollywood's own controversy magnet. Rumor had it that Rosie's paycheck had a whopping $5 million tag. Fast forward to 2019, and Cheat Sheet spilled the beans that the cash game hasn't changed much. But there's a rumor that Goldberg's paycheck might be closer to $6 million. That makes sense, right? A little appreciation for their ever-spicy roles is expected. Let's face it, would Whoopi settle for less? With her legacy since the 70s, she's no newbie. As Cheat Sheet rightly dished out, she's the reigning queen on the set, no matter who is sharing the spotlight. But not everyone is happy with Whoopi's earnings because Monique, who was once sit down with Whoopi on The View, later spilled her thoughts on Whoopi's paycheck that she wasn't thrilled about. News One threw in the same $5 million for Whoopi's earnings, but Monique was like 10 years and that's all. She even hinted that Whoopi might be settling too easily, making it tough for the next-gen divas, including herself, to climb the pay ladder. And there you have it, folks. The steaming pot of Whoopi's most electrifying clashes and the not-so-mighty paycheck that keeps her in the game. From heated debates that boil over like a pot left on the stove to walking off set with a flair that only Whoopi can muster.